Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Deborah Peters Show. My name is Deborah Peters, and oh my God, today we're going to rock your world with truth bombs. All right. But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you so much for the follows, the likes, the shares, the comments. Love you for that. And especially the comments and the subscriptions, because what that does is it opens up the algorithm and it really starts to draw more people in. We really want to make an impact here because this show is all about consciousness. If you're not conscious, you can't possibly know what's going on in the world around you. You'll be oblivious to it, and you'll be drawn into this smoke and mirrors kind of mind numbing, mind control, brainwashing sort of paradigm of a social construct that actually keeps your energy blocked from you really knowing truly who you are and embracing your own power, your divinity, your connection with God, your creator, and the use of your imagination to create the new reality that you want to live. You'll actually believe that life happens to you rather than through you. And if that's the case, then you're essentially a powerless victim living in a world of external blocks and need for external validation. It'll drive down your health, it'll impede your wealth, and it will put you in line with negative relationships that really do not honor and serve you. And there's a whole lot of that going on in the world. So the 5 pillars we cover are health, wealth, relationships, self-expression, and business. And just stay tuned every week on Tuesdays at 12 noon Pacific, 3 o'clock Eastern, and you will be introduced to a whole new reality. My goal is to take you to the leading edge of thought so that you can actually get in charge of that reality and create the life that you were born to live, the reason you came to this planet at this time. So with that said, my buddy's here, Michele Swinick, and I haven't had her on for a long time. Sorry about that. I've been remote working and going through some changes myself in my world, raising my consciousness. And I thought this would be befitting because this is Independence Day, July 4th. You know, this is the day that America became. And we're going to just hit you hard with truth bombs. You may not like it, but please just hang in there. And just a warning.
You're warning.
Just a warning. You know, hang in there and hear what we've got to say, because I'm a patriot too. And I actually think Michelle's like the queen of patriotism. So Michele, howdy. Good to see you again.
Good to see you too. And let's start off. Okay, look at the sign. I always do the opposite. Look at the sign behind me, right? It says, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord your God is with you wherever you go. All right. Yeah. So keep that in mind. Again, it's do not be afraid is listed in the Bible. They say 365 times. I never counted, so I'm just going off of what I heard, what they say. But so it gives you one for every day of the year to remind you. In order to do the stuff that she's talking about, that guy's on your side as long as you accept him to be on your side, right? So you've got support from the moment you get out of bed, so you can do the stuff that she's talking about. So
you're gonna make me cry, like right now, because. I just
got chills.
I know, you're touching a chord in me. It's like the biggest agenda on this planet is fear. It's
all in your head. It's fake, like COVID.
It's
all
fake.
In your head. It's all fake. It's all fake. Remember Elaine on Seinfeld when they were at the restaurant and he was talking about when they got together and he's like, well, wait a second. That was fake. She's like, fake. And he's like, that too? She goes, fake. It's all fake.
Yeah.
It's all fake.
Yeah, well, the thing is that...
And most of those are fake too.
people mistake it for real. And that's why I call it an agenda, because there's, my background's in human engineering. So I understand what it takes to program a mind. and you essentially can program a mind to receive and accept anything you throw at it. When it gets really crazy, like we've experienced during the pandemic, for example, it's a program for the masses. Like, how do you bring billions of people to a standstill and get them on their knees? It's fear of death.
Yeah, false evidence appearing real. And if about 2 years ago, Deborah was on my show, and I was new to all this stuff. I didn't know, right? I didn't understand how they manipulate your brain. I didn't know that all the history and all the things they tell you is all lies. Again, it's all lies, except that everything is opposite. Go opposite, and you'll understand the truth. She comes guns a-blazing on my talk radio show and drops this science of propaganda segment on, which was only supposed to be like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
I think we went for like 2 hours because I was like, I've got like 17 pages of notes, and I'm like, I had no idea. I'm like, what are you talking about? And then all of a sudden, boom, everything made sense.
Yeah.
So yes, it is. It's manipulation. It's calculated, and it's been going on for hundreds of years.
Hundreds of years. It's by design.
By design. It's all by design. It's all a lie. And then as things progressed, right? Because this is from her. This is from her, and then now other people, because now I understand. And the CIA's involved, because it's like operations, right?
Yeah.
And then what did they do when they had that wonderful thing called television? They were able to put it right into your living room, and you're paying for it, going, oh, I want more. And it's just all manipulation and indoctrination into your brain.
Oh, it's all lies. It's all lies. You just made a phenomenal point. So, TV was the greatest invention for brainwashing the masses. Mm-hmm. And I was
and they did the TV dinner, so you can actually go ahead and
the TV trays.
Remove yourself from conversations with other people that might actually try to knock some common sense into you, like your parents back then. So they said, hey, we'll make it so easy for you to get indoctrinated that you can eat while you're watching and not talking to anybody else who might knock some common sense into you. See how they are? They're brilliant.
Absolutely. No, it's brilliant. And
they're demons coming right out of that black box.
What do we pay? What do we pay is like almost $200 now to have cable in your house.
I'm ready to get rid of it.
Oh my God, shut that stuff off. I'll tell you where I'm at right now, Michelle, is like, I am hard pressed to find anything, if you want to look at television as maybe an opportunity for a little entertainment at the end of the day, I am hard pressed to find anything worth watching. There is nothing worth
new,
watching.
All old stuff you got to watch. Anything.
Well, I was watching
old movies.
What was it was this show about this Saint Bernard dog, and it was like from the 80s. I don't even think you own a dog.
I don't think you even own a dog, right?
Not now. No, I used to, man. I used to have this beautiful old English sheepdog. But the thing is that, to your point, we're paying for this, and then we just let it program us, and it's everything from health with medications to just how you should spend your time with your family, what you should look like by a certain age. The biggest social construct is the age construct.
Yeah.
And you should be ready to kick the bucket and barely able to function by a certain age so that they can sell you. Did you know?
Wait, like those people are not real. I mean, I do not look like that. No. And you do not look like that. Yeah. I do not fit into those small clothes. Right. I am not 12. Yeah. But
I'm not the old, like, wrinkled up, gray-haired lady.
No, not like it was back in like the 50s.
You
don't look like we don't look like our age, like our grandparents look like our age, right?
It's interesting. I got to just throw that out there, and then we're going to talk a little bit about America. So I've come to learn that in Canada, with the social medicine construct, if you're over a certain age and you have a life-threatening disease, they don't even put you on a list. They actually have in their healthcare now a self-euthanation. What do you call that? Assisted suicide option that the government will pay for.
And the kids and it's for children. So if the children want to do it, they don't even have to tell the parents.
Yeah, it's insane right now. Okay, so you're in Arizona.
Oh, yes, I'm in Anarchy, Arizona, Maricopa County, the pits of hell. I'm in pits of hell.
So you're really, so I just want to say this, because I didn't say it when I introduced you. Your TV show is Save My Freedom. And your Save My Freedom movement, it sounds to me like since the last time I had you on my show, you have created something really big out there in Arizona. So what is that?
There. That's my sign. This is a very expensive sign. It was like $7.
I know.
So you too can do this. What I'm saying is, so like because you then whenever you want to whip it out, if you're on a show, if you're doing something, you just hold up your sign. Because and it passes all the censorship tests, right? See, because like
you're smarty pants, smarty pants.
So you just do like so. I have two signs that I whip up. I always whip up this one, right? See, like this is a very high budget show. So you always put up this, and then you put up that, right? Solves all the problems on the planet.
Yeah. So so you're in Arizona, and when we were prepping for the show, we were talking about 2024. There's an election coming. Personally, I don't really see any point in voting as long as we have the current system we have. So what's going on with that?
Well, let me explain this first because people have questions. See, my flag is upside down. Okay.
Right.
Now, the reason why the flag is upside down, as you can see, it's not because I am not patriotic. It is because I am over patriotic, and it's because the country is in distress. So until people realize that the country is in distress and you need to take it back, you cannot save it at this point. And I don't want to save the country that we're living in right now because it's a pile of poop, right? They have destroyed it. So I want to take back the country that they've destroyed, and I want to put it into the model that was actually done by the Constitution and the Founding Fathers, the way it's supposed to be. Now, I grew up in the late 70s and 80s. So my version in my head of what the country was, which it doesn't really it's certainly not as bad as it is now, and it wasn't as good as I thought. But I want that version that's in my head to be the country that I am going to restore once we take it back. And everybody needs to have that attitude, because if they think that they don't live in a tyrannical, lawless country, then they're not paying attention. Because
that's consciousness. Like, how can you have to be aware of what's really going on? Well,
just look around. Look at what's going on. Just take Trump, for instance. All those charges against him, they're completely illegal, and they don't even have any type of meat to them whatsoever. But they do it anyway. Right? They love lawfare. And then just look at what's going on in drag shows and transgender, which is all manipulation of children, mutilation of children, indoctrination. Look at the schools.
Oh my God.
Look what's going on. Look, and we haven't touched on the election yet, but just pick a category and you see the complete degeneration, right, of the human being.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the whole
human
society.
The human spirit's being completely erased.
The human lack of personal responsibility, not to mention, look at the economy. Okay, the whole thing is being borders wide open, and then they tell you, during a congressional hearing, that was 85,000 children. We can't find them. What? You know where they are because you're doing the child sex slave trafficking. So don't try to say that, government. You are the American cartel. You are the one causing all the problems. We're the strongest. Well, we were the strongest, richest, most powerful, most advanced country. And you can't tell me that you can't shut the border. No, the border's open by design. Because the border's open, because you have fraudulent elections where they install the people they want to keep the borders open, to destroy the country so they can have merchandise come through. And you're thinking, oh, it's the drugs. No, it's not. It's the children. It's the children. They want the children because they child sex slave, traffic the children. And then when they're done doing that, raping them 15 times a day, then they sell their organs and their blood. Okay. That's a fact. That is a fact. Yeah, but that's the world we live in. Okay. So, and that's why they have the elections. Remember, the entire election system is fundamentally designed to control the outcomes so they can install who they want. Yes, there's a lot of money laundering in all of it. Everything is money laundering. Every campaign's a money laundering operation. Okay, so do not give money to anybody. You have your money and go spend it on things for you or for people that you care about. Go buy some food. Go buy some go buy a patriotic shirt. You go to theflagshirt.com, use promo code HOME10, get 10% off, get some gear, but wear the gear year round. Don't fly the flag just on the 4th of July. Don't fly the flag just on Memorial Day. But you can, and you should, turn the damn thing upside down. Because until here, you would think, oh, this sounds doom and gloom. No, it's not. It's not, because just only in the past couple weeks since I put together this campaign that I'm going to tell you about, banning the machines nationwide, I never really read. I've read parts of the Constitution, like bits and pieces.
Sure.
And we never learned about it in school.
No.
Because our whole movement and our whole program campaign is about utilizing the Constitution, because our elections are unconstitutional. Most of the actions that these elected and selected elitists, which I call, they're like legislators, administrators, everybody in government, I call them the turds. Keep it short. Just call them turds, because that's what they are. They're POSs and SOBs. They're called the turds. You start using it, it'll stick. They hate when I say it. It's amazing. It's a love to, you just want to poke at them, right? Because they have betrayed the people in the country and the states and their counties and their cities, because they don't follow their oath, because they don't follow the Constitution. And I didn't know any of this until I started to read it, and then I had it explained to me. Then you find out that all the power lies in, guess who? Me and you. We're the people. Yes. We have all the power. We have all the power. It's the consent of the governed. Okay. Remember, they try to trick you with everything, because they're so much smarter, because demons think they're so smart, but they're really stupid. But we just believe them, because that's what we've been conditioned to do. We've been indoctrinated. Well, here's the rules. What rules? Well, if you actually read the rules, you're like, that's not what they do. That's not what it says.
Yeah.
So when you're reading through it, it's consent of the governed. Okay. I thought we were the governed. We're not the governed. We're free people. We got our freedoms from God. Divine God gave us our divine rights, right? And he gave us dominion over the land. We are the ones who make the rules. It's right there in the Constitution. The Constitution doesn't give us the rights. We wrote the Constitution to protect our rights, so we could take these and say, here, legislators, here, the governed, here, government. These are the rules that you're not allowed to violate.
Yeah.
But that's not how it's explained, because they try to trick you.
Sure.
So I thought we were consent of the government. The consent is when they take their oath, right? I, POS, do solemnly swear to uphold the Constitution of the state of Arizona and the United States, blah, 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 blah. I read it on my show last night. So, I have it. Oh, no, I don't have it here. It's on anyway. So
we got you.
But yeah, you look it up. It's the same one everybody uses. Thank you. Yeah. So when they give their oath, that's the consent. They're the ones who are governed, not us. We make the rules.
100%.
They're there to operate the government, because they're there to operate the government. Here, let me read it to you. Okay. All political power. This is Arizona's Article 2, Declaration of Rights, Section 2, political power, purpose of government. Look up the one in your state. Okay.
Okay.
All political power is inherent in the people. Okay. Right there. And governments derive their just powers from consent of the governed and are established to protect and maintain individual rights. There, governments derive. Government is the entity, right? That's just the shell. They derive their just powers. That means there are powers to exist, because somebody has to operate the machine. So think of that as the machine. Somebody's got to operate the machine, and then somebody has to own the machine. Okay, we own the machine, and we need some little biatch to go ahead and operate it while we're busy doing all of our other stuff, working, taking kids to school, doing whatever. And you should actually get your kids out of school. So the worst thing you do is drop them off. Do not drop your children off to Moloch. Okay, that's what you're doing by dropping them off in the indoctrination centers called the public school system. So the government derives their just powers from the consent of the governed. So they're just getting their ability to operate, because they need somebody to drive the machine, which is the consent, the oath of the governed, which is the elected officials,
right? And
the people that are operating and sitting in government. Here we call it the pits of hell down at the Capitol. So, and it's not only the legislators, the turds that are actually the legislators, it's everybody else that's operating every other level of government, executive branch, judicial branch, anybody that's appointed or gets a paycheck from the government, right? So they are the ones who are operating the government, but all political power is inherent in the people. Sure. We actually make the rules. We make the laws.
I know this is funny, because the word leadership has been used erroneously. We call these people our leaders. They're not our leaders. They are our servants.
Exactly. They're the servants.
Just to clarify, they are our servants, not our leaders. And see, this is, there's a distinction to this. It might sound like semantics, but there's this distinction here that changes our entire perception of what's really going on. As long as we call them leaders, then we bow down to them, and rather than understand our power, we understand their rules and regulations and power over our lives. You see, the word understand simply means we stand under them. When we leaders.
That's
right?
good. Can I use that? I'll give you credit.
So,
yeah.
but really, truly, what we need to be taking our power back with is our inner standing, which is our divinity, which is our relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
remember, it's God
to know about. It's like,
well, no, because it takes away their power, their false power that we have given to them. We have volunteered our power over to them because they've been telling us that's how it works. But that's not how it works. Read the Constitution. It goes God, people, laws, government, corporations.
yeah.
That's the order.
But
end of story.
It's been flipped, and we've accepted
everything's upside down. Yeah.
Based on the programming, the repetition. Like, this has been going on for so long, I don't even know if we can even count.
It's well before the United States started, but the part that people will focus on is, let's just say, the early 1900s, right? Because that's when we became more of a industrial country where, you know, things were actually more recognizable that they are now. So let's just keep it there, because that's what you had said when you did the science propaganda. I think it was like, really, the poop really hit the fan in the 1930s.
So 1928 is when
there you go. See, close. I was close.
Out with his book Propaganda, which was based on his uncle Sigmund Freud's work with people re-engineering their belief systems. And he said, I'm not going to sit and, you know, do therapy on people for hours a day. I'm just going to package this up and sell this to the banks, to the Venezuelan government, to Procter and Gamble, to General Electric. And then public relations was born. And now we've got the onslaught of advertising that's controlling your life, which went from print to radio to then the big one that does the greatest indoctrination and brainwashing, television.
Mm-hmm.
And now
it's full circle.
Yeah.
So full circle. Now you mentioned Venezuela. That always seems to pop up when bad things are going to happen as a model, right? Because Venezuela was when they first really started to test drive these machines. Yeah. And look what happened. And that now look at that government, right?
I know it seems
always
to be a
Venezuela.
testing ground, right? Because they used
like Ukraine.
Yeah, they used propaganda in the beginning in Venezuela in the 20s, early 30s to, you know, throw the country into communism. And then that's where the voting machines were tested and run to their greatest, you know, capacity. So yeah, there's something there. And I don't know quite yet what that is about. I need to do a little more digging, but there's definitely something there.
Yeah, there's a connection there. There's a connection there. But but again, if you want to keep your head in the sand, then that's fine.
It's cool.
It's not gonna turn out well for you at all. I'm just gonna give you that warning. Right?
Yeah,
because
it's cool. I'm not going to fight with you.
No, I'm not going to fight. I'm my whole movement and everything that I do here in Arizona and nationwide is to bring out the people that are the warriors and the people who want to become warriors. I'm not here to convince you to be a warrior. I know that it's in your spirit or it's in your gut or you're doing stuff already. My goal is to bring those people together so we can form our Gideon's army, so we can have the 3% that when Gideon's army only had 300. Remember, that was only 300 in order to make it work. The Revolutionary War only had 3% of the people that got onto the battlefield.
Oh my God, you're giving me chills again. You're going to make me cry again. It's like,
that's my goal. I want you to all cry. I want you to be on your knees praying, and I want you to cry at the same time. Okay, that's my goal today.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
So with that being said, that's what it is. That's all we're doing is bringing together. Look, I'm. See, this is what happens. I get sabotaged all the time. So this is not Deborah's show that's doing it. It follows me, right? I see when they jump in my computer. I spend about 2 to 3 hours a day unwinding or resetting or redoing stuff that they sabotage me in censorship ways that most people don't have to deal with. So so I'm used to it.
Well, you're telling a contrary story to the agenda, you know.
Yeah, they don't like me, and that's okay. So when you see tech issues, people don't get, I can't believe. No.
Like, hang in
with
there.
me or with anybody else. It's just life. It's just life. Yeah.
You know, I want to jump in and say this. It's like when I started, I have to tell you, first of all, thank you, because you're a tremendous inspiration to me. And when I started my podcast, it was really because I saw what you were doing. And I thought, okay, what can I do based on my knowledge and life experience and training? What can I do for people that will guide them more toward their relationship with God in every aspect of their lives, so that they don't continue down the path of this pseudo happiness that's based in materialism, and they can actually start creating what they want instead of looking outside of themselves for the answers. And so that's how my show was born. And I wanted to really just bring consciousness to the table, because if you're not conscious, you're like whatever, and it's okay, like this isn't a judgment. It's just whatever you choose to be consciously aware of as a human being is the reality that you're going to live. And that's just really the bottom line. So you can choose any level of consciousness. And I really feel that, this became blatantly obvious to me in 2012 when there was a huge shift in our capacity as, en masse, in our capacity to create through our thoughts. There was a big shift. Like that's always been there, but it somehow just really got amplified. And there was like a shift. There was a turning point in the agenda of losing control. They knew, like consciousness, the Great Reset actually inspired the Great Awakening.
Yeah.
And the thing that needs to be acknowledged is that the Great Awakening was happening anyway. It was like, it's like whatever you want to call it, the universe, God, the angels, I don't care. At the end of the day, you call it what you want, was already moving humanity toward greater awareness, greater consciousness. And the power that we have in our hearts, in our connection with God. Jesus Christ said, you too can do this and even greater. And so it's about reconnecting with that knowledge that is in your DNA. God created your DNA. And it's in that awareness of reconnecting with that you actually start to live the life you want to live, not some program that you've been fed. The Matrix wasn't fiction. It was a documentary.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
We watched it about a month ago, and
Yeah,
I've only seen parts of it years ago, and I was that was my expression most of the movie.
I used to assign it to all my clients.
Oh,
I mean,
you're so much more advanced in this stuff. That's why you're the professional, and I'm just the Yahoo. I'm just the Yahoo listening. Yeah.
Well, I was just like, go watch this, and then I'll work with you. This is your homework, because it's like, it's just so much easier to start here with someone than down here and like do all that heavy lifting. But the thing is that we're living it, and you're right about you only need a few. And the power's there. Like, I want people to not feel, rather than feel defeated, like the odds are stacked against us. I want you to realize that we are the majority. We are.
But we have to start acting like the majority. Okay.
Yes.
So, and no more of the silent majority crap. I don't even want to hear that narrative. It's just like election integrity. Never say those two words. Never say those two words, because there's no such thing. You cannot put integrity into a system that is fraudulently designed to control the outcomes, and the people running it are nefarious and corrupt, and they couldn't even spell the word integrity. Okay. That's all a facade to have you look over here so you don't look over here. And it's a way for the Republican Party, who started it, to grift and make money. So do not, again, I'm telling you, I'm warning you. Okay. I've been doing the homework on all this stuff for a long time. I've been investigating Arizona, the stuff that I'm going to bring to the table, which I'm not allowed to say right now, because the county is playing games with me, because that's what they do. Demons play games. It will make people's heads explode across the country. Okay. So because I'm looking at things that have not been talked about ever in the country, that when you see it and you hear it, you're going to be in shock. So the reason why we started the campaign to ban the machines, because I know you're close on time, and I got to make sure that everybody knows this, because I need everybody in the country on board with this, because this is how you're going to take back your country. There is nothing else that can be done to have the biggest impact other than a movement where people get really loud, hold the people accountable, meaning turds and then some, to ban the damn machines. Because
Yeah.
if you don't do that, you do not do that, there is no country. It's over. Okay, we're hanging on by a thin thread at this point.
This will be if we don't ban the machines, we will shift into communism.
It's over. It's over. We're in communism now, but we're not feeling it. Okay,
well, because it's not blatant.
It's not in your face yet. Yeah. And the only thing that's holding it back, is the Second Amendment, which is the only freedom you have left, and the fact that they haven't had the next election. Because the next election is that you will not be able to recover the United States of America at all if there is an election in 2024 with machines. And
we are the last man standing on this planet.
That's it.
This country.
So that's why this is critical. July is Patriotism Month. Okay, we've officially named it Patriotism Month. It is official at this point. And somebody had said the other day to me, "Well, I can't wait to wear my put up my flag in July." I said, "Put it up in July. It should be up all the time." Okay, see, that's the problem. It's not just a holiday. It's not just one day to celebrate.
It's not a barbecue, honey.
It's your lifestyle. It's your ideology. It's your value system. Okay.
It's being able to raise your children with what you want.
Right. Like what world, what kind of a country do you want to live in? You have to participate in it. Right. I'm not asking you to run for office. No way would I ever do that until the machines are gone. But I need you to participate, whether it is something, and you don't have to, if you're not a person that likes to go to the meetings, you don't want to get involved too much in the community. We created the campaign and the movement to get your brain straight, to understand the country that you live in, and to give you the opportunity to do things digitally in less than 2 minutes a day, so that you can actually go ahead and take the steps and get involved and take your country back. But when you start understanding the Constitution, you start understanding what's really going on, and you start seeing who the people are that are actually out there, like putting their necks on the line, like me and a lot of other people, you start listening and you're hearing truths, and you're like, oh, wait a second, I didn't know that. Well, what happens when a bunch of people actually hear the truth? Stuff starts to happen, okay? And then if you push back, and then you're going to want to get more involved, right? So you'll get to where I am eventually, right? I'm just like maybe a year ahead, 6 months ahead, but that's okay. You'll catch up. So I said I'm like the Disney monorail back when we thought Disney was a good company, right? And they weren't so demonic and doing all the bad things for the children. So I'm like the monorail.
Smoke and mirrors there.
Oh, but that's such indoctrination. Talk about brilliant. Again, nefariously brilliant. These demons are nefariously brilliant. So I'm like the monorail. I'm just going around and around. You get on whenever you're ready. And then and then once you get on, the longer that I'm going around, the accommodations inside the monorail get nicer and nicer, right? Sure. So in the beginning, it was just kind of like we had like basic seats. We didn't really have any upgrades, but we've been going around for a while. So when you walk in, you're like, wow, it's kind of like a condo in here. This is kind of nice, right? So the longer we keep going around, we keep getting better and better. And we're getting full now. We're getting more and more people. We're always open. So whenever you're ready, you come on, but you're never going to want to get off because you're going to get it. Right?
How do they come on? Tell them
so
that.
What I want you to do is, you can see it on the screen there. It's savemyfreedom.us. I always do with the hat, see, right? So savemyfreedom.us. And that is the Substack. Now, the reason why I chose Substack is because it's an easy way to get out information quickly. So it's a newsletter, right? Because that's technically it is like a blogger newsletter. It's just a Word document, but it's also intertwined with the internet. So if people can find it, not to mention there's a subscription opportunities in there for people. You can upgrade, you could support us. Right, because we're doing a lot of stuff here. I'm taking this campaign nationwide, and I cannot do it by myself. It's mathematically impossible.
I know you broadcast something weekly that people can join.
Oh,
that's besides your show.
Right. So the show is Fridays, called Save My Freedom, and that is on all the social media platforms that I haven't been kicked off yet, the live streaming platforms, but it's produced by brighteon.tv. So it's brighteon.tv. You can watch it there live. Or if you go to savemyfreedom.us, when you see what I did with the Substack is I turned it into a website. So there's 6 websites, as you see all the tabs on the top. There's 6 websites all wrapped up into that. So once you go to one, it connects you back to the other. So you can never say, Michelle, I couldn't find you. I said, well, that I cannot help. I have made it so easy and obvious. So our social media links are on there. The Rumble's on there, which is what I call the Take Action Toolkit. So I put together the Arizona Corruption Exposed Take Action Toolkit. I started doing it in February. So those are all videos and Rumbles. And then I actually do physical toolkits with information, take action items, video links. And these are not just shows that I do. These are snippets that I've got or segments that I see that other people have. There's other shows that are on there. It's stuff that I think is so relevant and that will help you either understand or expose or get the truth. So those I put into, so the Rumble thing is on there. Our marketplace is on there where you can see good products and services from patriotic small businesses. And then there's also, We did that Flag Day Summit, 8 hours and 12 minutes. Cause I stand up for my show. See, there's my chair. There's my chair. And in September, what happened was I started telling people they have to stand up, speak up, and show up. Okay. You can show up digitally. You can show up in person. I don't care. I need 15 minutes of your time every day. That's it. I'm only asking for 15. And I said, well, I can't ask people to stand up if I'm sitting in the chair. No offense to all the hosts that I go on their shows that they sit down. So I said, I got to retire the chair, but I'm going to leave it back there because then I can at least put the sign on it, right? And the cross. Because if the cross on the wall fell off, I'm like, I just propped it up on the chair for now until I brought in like the construction crew, which is me and a hammer, right? That's my crew. So I said, I can't do this. So it's in my website, the website that I'm going to have you go to. Then that is that. But let me tell you about the campaign real quick because I know we're pressed for time. So I said, now the website you're going to go to is called azsavesamerica.us. Because everything's about Arizona. This is where this is the hub of the demons, right? This is where all the stuff's going down. Well, the demons love the desert. And there's a lot of other things that are here, like the Grand Canyon and a lot of other things. You've got that observatory that the Vatican owns. Right? So there's a lot of demon stuff here, right? Phoenix rising from the sun. We've got the sun devils. They've got this. This means I love Satan. So whether you do this, thumb in, thumb out, that means I love Satan. But it also is the sign language for I love you. Now, did you know that Helen Keller was a Satanist? Helen Keller was a eugenist and a Satanist. Helen Keller. Yeah. Well, why would you do this? If you're blind and you want to say I love you, why would you do this symbol? Does that make any sense? No, you would be like, I love you. You know what I mean? Something like that. You don't do this. No, she was an evil person. Evil. Yeah. The symbols and the signs are all around us. So what we're doing every single day is all you're doing is invoking demons and you don't even realize it. Because you're like, rock on. No, you just said I love Satan. And you're like, I had no idea. Yeah, everything is designed to invoke demons. And there you go. But it's at the point where you're doing it and they don't even have to tell you to do it because you think this means something else. Rock on. That's not what it means.
And it's sold to you like coolness. It's like alcohol, right?
It's cool, dude. No, it's not. It's not cool. Not cool.
Pure evil.
It's evil. So back to that Substack. So on the top, the second tab, the flag shirt deal or the Flag Day Summit. We had 46 speakers. It was really, really awesome. And if you want to watch that, it's 8 hours. So I stood up for 8 hours, right? And when I actually went to go walk to the couch, you ever see the Carol Burnett, right? Remember the Carol Burnett show? Did you ever watch it? Okay. Remember the guy with the white hair and he shuffled like this? That was walking to the couch after standing through. I could barely make it there. It was so funny. So anyway, go watch that. So that's the first tab. And the second tab says ban the machines. Now, the website you're going to go to is not a low budget website. It is a no budget website. I put it together yesterday only because I needed to take the two forms of the campaign and make it really simple, right? So don't judge me on my website, people. Okay. All right. You want to become a subscription member for $10 a month? If I would appreciate it, and I will make prettier websites. Okay. But I have no more money to put into all this stuff that I've been doing for 32 months. Right. So Michelle's tapped out.
Show Michelle some love. Yeah.
And trust me, the things that I share on the show, the things that I share in the platform, and as Deborah mentioned, she said, "What else do you guys do?" We were doing it on Monday, so it's gonna be Monday or Tuesday. We're not sure we're gonna do in the summer. It's a little different, so like lighter. I don't think this year people are gonna go on a lot of vacations because nobody's got tons and tons of money to do that. But what we do is a Zoom call nationwide of patriots, right? Whether you're a precinct committee man or you're just you want to get involved. Again, I'm looking for warriors and people who want to become warriors. Yeah. That's it. We'll take care of the rest. We'll show you what to do, and we'll give you all the information. Not only is it stuff to be patriotic, but we have a show called Jesus Rocks. There's 23 evergreen episodes that is about connecting. Lucy DeGrazia, who's one of my best friends, is the host. She does an amazing job of connecting current events and the truth of God with I can't believe I just forgot it. She connects the truth of God with current events and real history. Okay. And it's unlike anything you've ever seen. It totally changed my life when we decided to do this show. It took a year for me to push her to do this, but it is brilliant. Not only it's going to get you through the turbulent times that we are in that are going to get a lot worse, but it gets you the ability to get even stronger in your faith, which I can tell you right now, people are starting to lose their crap here in Arizona, like friends of mine. And I'm not, because I'm actually really strong in my faith. I got baptized last year on 4th of July. Because I said, you know what? Because as Lucy said, Michelle, you need to get baptized. And I'm like, I'm not ready. She's like, all right, how about 4th of July? I said, well, since that's the birth of my country, and I seem to be a little bit patriotic, what a perfect day to get rebirthed into having Jesus Christ as your savior. I said, all right. So then I got one of these, right? Now, the cool thing is this is an awesome cross. I actually went and I got it inscribed. And I did it because we did a whole Joshua moment series, which is be strong and courageous, do not be afraid, Joshua 1:5-9, which read the whole thing. Because most people say Joshua 1, I think it's, 1:9. No. Because they always love to just isolate one part of the verse. Read a little before and read a little bit after, changes the whole meaning, makes it even better. Joshua 1:5-9, read that. So, and then I also want you to read Gideon's Judges 6, 7, and 8. That's the whole part about Gideon's army. Okay, that's going to give you the power.
Let me add something to this. So I've been, do you know who Neville Goddard is?
No, should I know who that is?
Yeah, you should. Because Neville Goddard, old school, like long time ago, beginning of the century, really created some amazing material. And he's got a really good book about understanding the true meaning of scripture. Not the scripture you're taught in church.
Oh, it's all lies, dude.
It's lies.
Yeah, it's
lies. Not the scripture the pastor feeds you, because, you can either, look, here's the deal. You can either follow God, you can either have a relationship with God and have Jesus Christ as your savior, or you can have a relationship with a pastor who's a human being who needs the money to support their lifestyle.
Exactly. And who shut his church during COVID.
Right. Mm-hmm. Well, that's not even a pastor. Today, I mean, I was walking down the street the other day, and it was like maybe, I don't know, 6:30 in the evening. I was going for a nice little stroll, and I walked by this gorgeous, gorgeous church, and I thought this would be a really good moment to go in and say a prayer. And of course, all the churches are locked, and the churches used to be a sanctuary. And now you can't get into a church. So that's another conversation.
But they're hospitals for faith. So during the most important time when you need your hospital for faith, they had them closed by design. By design. Why do you think the gyms were closed? The small businesses were closed, but all the big box stores were open. And the fast food places,
and the liquor stores
not
were
the good
open.
Russian. And the strip clubs and the casinos. Do you see? They're already telling you that we want you to live in this new demonic hell world, right? It's like watching Back to the Future 2. When Biff when they go into the future and they see that Biff's in charge, that's what COVID was. And that's the world you're going to live in if we don't get rid of these machines. Okay.
Yeah, I know.
And I'm not exaggerating. Not exaggerating.
There's no, if we're going to keep the machines, there's no point in having an election.
No, it doesn't matter because they're going, and money too, but don't forget, they like to have these elections and these campaigns because that's all money laundering. Like, look at the people running for president right now. None of them have a chance. Why are they running? Because they can get donations and they can money launder. Now, the donations are from fake people and real people. They're from other countries. They're from black sources and white sources, not the people. I'm talking about dark money versus legitimate money. But it's a money laundering operation, an opportunity to move it from one bank account to another. That's the only reason why these people run. Because you think Larry Elder has a chance. Oh, let me do the machines real quick, and then I know you got to go. So
I have a question for you. So before we go. No, you finish up.
So when you go to this Ban the Machines campaign, again, it's less than 2 minutes a day. It takes less than 2 minutes to do. So you can go to azsavesamerica.us, or it's the second tab on the savemyfreedom.us, right? Savemyfreedom.us. And what you're going to do is Act for America. We partnered with them, and then we partnered with Daniel Wood and his team here in Arizona because they wrote a remonstrance, which has all the grievances, which lists all the things that are unconstitutional about the elections, which you really need to read that because you will see that it says they need to be one day. It also says that there's no third parties allowed, which means that eliminates everything that they've done. It also says you cannot have secret ballot. You cannot count ballots in secret, which means you actually have to have and the people need to run the elections right then and there. Every single election they've ever done in modern day is fraudulent and against the Constitution. So that's what I'm saying. This is a real opportunity and a real effective and efficient system that we put in place or a campaign to actually stick this time. But it requires people to do it. And it requires to become the topic of conversation. Banning the machines needs to be the topic of conversation. You don't need to talk about anything else because nothing else matters when it comes to anything to do with elections or candidates or politics, because the rest of it's out of your control. This you have control over because this is the people. So you're going to click on the first one that it says Act for America. I made it really, really simple. And then you're going to put in your information. Now, this is just for Arizona alone right now, right? So this is for your Arizona audience, but the key, I'm going to tell you the nationwide thing in a second. So you're going to do that, and in less than 2 minutes, and read through the stuff so you can understand. and it uses our Senate Continuing Resolution 1037. But there's parts of it I don't like, but there's parts of it we're going to use. Right, I'll take whatever I can get from these turds and utilize it and do what we got to do with it. And it talks about banning the machines for the federal and the state elections. And then it gives you an opportunity after you click on that and click the button. You can post it gives you automatic post for Facebook, for Twitter, and for Telegram. And it gives you their phone number if you want to call them, their direct email. Otherwise, it gets sent emails to all the board of supervisors in Arizona. Now, the second part of it is you're going to go to a JOT form, which you're going to go right down there. And that lists all the remonstrances for us to take back the elections because they're all done fraudulently. I just gave you a couple of those. So you're going to do that. You click on that, sign your name, and boom, it goes in. And then for the rest of the country, we can do this in every single state. Okay, but I need people that are actually going to push it out to the people in their state. Yeah. I can't do it to your state. I can only take care of Arizona, and I still need lots of people in Arizona to be doing it at the different levels because it's a big state, right? So this is not about one person. This is about everybody getting behind it, and it's low effort, right? So I want everyone to click on that, right? So you're going to do it once a day, every day, and you're going to tell 10 of your friends. So if we can get people that want to do it in their state, Christine Reagan from Act for America, which we utilize their technology in order to do this one-click campaign, so that after you read the email that's sent to the board of supervisors, right? I call them the SOBs because instead of BOS and everything in our world is upside down, so we turned around to SOBs, and you know what SOB means because it's applicable for them. So, and it's applicable for all of your board of supervisors and all of your counties, right? Because that's what they are. These people are demons because they know when I know that I found about Arizona and that every other county and other counties use it. They know that I know because they're the ones who created the system.
Okay,
because they're implementing that. So you're going to do that
in here because we're running out of time.
Yeah.
I'm.
So I need people to contact me. I want people. Once you do this,
you're going to send me all the links, and I'm going to put them in the show notes. Right.
And then if you SaveMyFreedom.us, if you're going to go in there and you subscribe, if you could do the subscription, $10 a month, that's awesome. If you want to be, I gave you a discount for a year at $99. If you want to be a founding member, which kicks this into gear, I need 50 founding members. Which is $199. If I get 50 founding members, then I can go ahead and hire the other people that I need to help implement it in other states here in Arizona. So it goes blockbuster and I can finish the investigation into Arizona, which will make your heads explode. And again, if you guys start this movement where you are now reaching out and you're getting involved with this, if you want to do it in your state, you can go ahead and send me an email through that. Say, Michelle, I want to get involved. We have that nationwide Zoom call that she was talking about. And you can get involved with that. If you want to do that, send me an email, say you want to get involved. And you could do that right from that. Just say, Michelle, I want to be on the Zoom call and I'll add you. It's a special list because we got to make sure that you're not like a troll or a nefarious person. Because it's only because I don't want to hear their crap. It's not because
I got to ask you a question and then we got to say goodbye. So this has to be a yes or no answer.
Yes.
Is there anyone at all in politics in Washington that is decent? Because there's a few people talking a good game that come across as patriotic.
I'm going to keep saying no.
Okay.
If they're not talking about banning the machines as their number one priority, then no. Are they talking about child sex trafficking? No. That's my 2 criteria to make sure that you are actually serious about taking back the country, and nobody's talking about that.
Yeah.
There are no people on our side. We are the problem, we are the solution, and we are the white hats, and we hold all the power. We don't need them.
That's an amazing way to say goodbye. I mean, we hold all the power and we don't need them.
We don't need them.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Happy 4th of July.
Here. Happy Independence Day, everybody. If you
go get your independence back.
Right. If you take like even 10% of this conversation and what Michelle's laying out for you today, and roll with it, we'll take our country back. 100%. So thank you. And thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. Drive all your friends over to Michelle's websites. All the URLs are in the show notes. And we're going to make sure that, and text this girl, we're going to make sure that you have the tools that you need to really create the life that you want. And speaking of the life that you want, remember, stay aligned. What does that mean? Stay aligned with God, not your ego. Stay alert. So get conscious and pay attention to what the hell's going on around you. And stay awake so no one can brainwash you any further. Time to wake up, folks. Mwah. Love you.